It was the dawn of the 23rd century when mankind finally dared leave the confines of Earth. With the last of the unification wars behind them, fusion power and interstellar travel in their hands, they turned their attention to a distant star. They named it Hellion. Work began on the expedition project, a massive undertaking with a singular purpose: to give humanity a new home beneath an alien sky. The journey would take almost a century.
It's all over. The expedition has fallen apart. Hellion is a war zone. The damn plan was a mistake. It was insane right from the start. But we can't turn back now. I just pray that someone can survive this.
Greetings, I am Golden Wing, and welcome to the Sunday Papers. It's a new series I want to give a try to, just to highlight some of the maybe alpha games or newer games that I'm taking a look at. And today I want to take a look at a game called Hellion. Hellion, as we saw in that fantastic intro, is made by Zero Gravity Games, and it's very alpha, that's for sure. But it's a whole lot of fun. So let's take a quick look. This is version 0.22, so fairly early in development. But boy, for 0.22, they've done a fantastic job. Let's take a look. We start off in this life pod. You can hit F to open that up. Step out here. There we are. So we are on, oh, that's bright. We are on this little station. We'll grab our medical supply. Detail here is pretty cool. They've done an amazing job in just a little bit of versioning that they have. Now, you do have to monitor the health of the vessel, or in this case, the little station component that we're in. Also, pressure for air, for obvious reasons. So we'll, let's drop G, I think, yeah. We'll head over here. We'll pick up our pressure suit, our jetpack, and our helmet. We'll hit H there to open the helmet up. We don't want to be using our air just yet. Now we can hold that stim pack a little easier. So we've got some storage in here for medical supplies. Now we have to go get the rest of the station online. Now there's no gravity in the rest of the station, so that's why we're sort of floating right now. Turn on the artificial gravity here. Excellent. So we've got a bit of a station. Let's try and get some power going. We want to turn on, we've got one solar panel on the station, so we can turn that on and turn the capacitor bank on. That should start to get some lights on. We'll want to check our life support system. We've got some oxygen and some nitrogen. Components are looking good. We'll turn the generator on. We want to make sure the air filters are on. So that should handle our oxygen situation. Now let's take a look at that jetpack. It's doing okay, but it's a little low on fuel. Let's see if we can refuel that. This is our cargo panel for the station. So we can see we've got some basic nitrates here. We've also got a bit of oxygen, nitrogen, and nitro, which is used as propellant for the jetpack. So we'll just go ahead and refill our propellant and our oxygen in this. That's good. Excellent. Now we'll see that we're all full up there. Now we do have 2 spare jetpacks. We'll go grab those. just to make good use of fuel here. Yeah, I didn't think these were going to be full. I always like to take an extra minute or so and fill up the spare jetpacks. So sort of, what's the point of having an emergency spare if it's not full, right? It's supposed to be ready to go. So we'll just take an extra minute there and fill those up. There we are. So this is cool, and we've got access to the different components on the ship. Those are our air filters, for example. You can see the green light shows that they're doing well. Some components over here to make sure the air generator is running appropriately. The next thing we really want to do, though, is we actually don't have an airlock, believe it or not. We are in two different modules. This sort of starting module has a couple of cryopods, the storage, solar panel, and just a little bit of the basics for you. And actually, I'm going to take the spare stim pack and we'll put that away. You also have the housing module that we started in. But that's it. That's all we've got. So we need to do a little work outside here. We'll put our HUD down. We're going to hit the manual override here. Now this is going to depressurize this compartment. So we're going to hold shift to grab on. I don't want to do that too often. Air tends to be a precious commodity. So this is where you start to realize how interesting this game tends to be. You've got to do all of this in 0G with limited supply. Close that up. Okay. Oops. That'll be fine. So X brings up this menu off to the right here, and that shows us where stuff is. Q and E rotates you. WAS and D moves you around. Shift will stop you from spinning. It'll also grab onto things. We made it over here to this module that's sitting just off our station, and what we want to do with this guy is dock him to the station, right? So we can have an airlock. Which means I've got to remember how to change this. R so we can change to the other port. And then the up and down arrows lets us target things. We want to target the outpost. And it has a standard docking port available. So we can start to maneuver this airlock into place. You'll note that we only have a limited amount of fuel. We only have 50 units of RCS propellant inside of this airlock. So what that means is if we expend it all and we don't succeed in docking, we'll run out of fuel, right? That's bad. So we'll go down a little bit here. You can see the yellow kind of flashing outline. That's where we're trying to go. Try and just maneuver this into place here. There we are. You can see our closing direction at the bottom. About 11 meters away, closing at half meter per second. Not very well lined up either. Let's see if we can fix that. That looks good. The airlock tends to be spawned in the beginning right in the appropriate, it's right in line with it, so you're not spun out, in some off axis. So there we go. We are docked. We can hit, is it escape? Yeah. Escape gets us out. We can go ahead and close that panel. Jetpack back on. Now I'm going to actually grab, this is an RCS, I'll show you. Where is it? It's a resource injector. Essentially it lets you use or maneuver one of these modules. Like I said, the game's been going through a ton of updates, but last I played, all the modules you could find in space, but none of them had any of those resource injectors. It ended up being like a key, so you could drive the ship, kind of thing. But our little airlock's not going to need its RCS controller now that it's docked to our station. So we'll head on over to this. This is a derelict, so it's, you can see all full holes and stuff. It's not going to be of use to us, but we might be able to find some useful supplies. We can pick up something I could find. There we go. We'll pick up some of this. There's ammo for the gun. That's a air canister. Oh, that orange one there, that's for mining and resource gathering. There are asteroids that spawn, and you can go to those and mine them up. There's some more canisters. I think sometimes there's something on the top of here. Yeah, there we go. Another little can of air. That'll come in handy. So those little cans you can use as you're moving here. You know, so you can kind of refuel on the go. Nothing over here of any consequence. I'll look over in this direction. We'll find something else. Doesn't look like it. Whoop, nope. I take it back. That's a battery. So that little guy is a battery for the drill. The little hand-powered drill. Hey, there's the crowbar. I'll grab him. Developers on this have an active Discord chat, and their updates come out about once a week. It's pretty active in development, as far as I can tell. Should be this one. We should have a ship around here somewhere. I think it's hiding behind the station. Let's see if we can find it. So this is our little station. You can see we've got the airlock sticking off of it. It's upside down, but the airlock's sticking off of it. There's our larger module with the solar panels and our kind of life support room dealie off the back. One of the planet, moon? I'm not sure which one it is, but must be a moon. Here's our ship. Plans for this, as far as I understand, involve more ships. They're all done on servers already, so there's lots of player-based interaction, which is cool. Depressurize the airlock here. Come on. There we go. A lot of the content that seems to be out so far is the modules. There's lots of different L configurations and hallways, life support modules, hangars to store more supplies. What else is there? There's more. There's a command module. This is very built around building up your station, as it were, and then mining the resources necessary to fuel your ship and breathe. A little early in some of the maybe larger mechanics. I know there's to be crafting in this game. I don't know that that's implemented yet. I don't think it is. But they're not .22. I've got to tell you, I've spent quite a bit of time playing this game and having a blast. We're just pressurizing the airlock on the ship here. .8. Should be able to open our helmet now. Save a little bit of air. Open up the hatch, which is under our feet. There we go. Alright, now, a little dark in here. Let's see if we can get the power on the ship going. Now, the ship has 2 solar panels and a capacitor. Also got a fusion reactor, which runs off of deuterium. Now, deuterium we can mine and collect. This should be quite a lot for us, though, if we're careful about using it. You can see our capacitor's charging up. That's good. We've got some power. Let's check our life support system. They're both on. And we do have some oxygen and nitrogen in the tanks. That's good. I know we picked up a bunch of supplies. Put those downstairs. Hang on to those. Alright. Whoops. What do we got here? Got another jetpack. Nearly empty, of course. Why would it be not? We should be able to... Let's see. How many of these do we have? So if we use you... That should refill our pack. If we put that... No, no, you go over there. Pull this pack off, since it's pretty much full. Line it up there. We'll grab the other one. I know we've got another can here. There we go. Maybe one more shot. It won't empty the whole can unless it's necessary. There we go. Now we got 2 that are pretty much full. Other than that one's a little low on power. So we've got some good storage here for stuff that we collect. There's also a lower level. There we are. This lower level's got some good stuff. We've got some canisters that are used in conjunction with these drills, which we had collected that battery for. You can see we've got a whole rack of them here. A whole bunch of stuff. So let's see. You're pretty much empty. You're an empty. You're got stuff in you. Go grab this one. So the difference between the blue ones and the orange ones. The blue ones store, from what I can tell, refined resources. And the orange ones store mineable materials. So you'd take an orange canister along with this drill. See, so you pick up the drill, and then you hover over one of these empty canisters and you hit, I think, F. Yeah. And he'll grab the canister and attach it like that. And then you'd go over and grab battery and attach that. I think... Does it hold R? Yeah. If you hold R, you'll get the remove canister choice. And he'll take off the canister and put it in the inventory. So, that's kind of how that works. We can put some of these down. Now the station, can you find a home? Cool. Don't really need a crowbar. The station that we came from has storage and refinery to it. This does not. This little ship doesn't. So the idea is you'd go out mine and then fill it. So, now that we've got a fancy new ship, let's go somewhere. So up here in the front of the ship, if you're playing on a server, you'll want to take command of the vessel here. And then we can name it. There we go, the USS Speedwell. Why not? Down here, we've got the warp cells. Are they all at 100%? Yep, so we've got 3 100% warp cells, and sometimes... Aha, yes. Sometimes in these crates when you spawn, you'll get a spare one. I think the spare... Yeah, see, we got 3 100% sitting in the rack there. We'll put one of the full ones back. The spare we'll put up here. There we go. So now we've got 2 fully charged warp cells and one that's 30% down. So that's good. We'll be able to use up the smaller one first. So we'll have a seat here. Let's see if I can remember how to fly. So, right click, by the way, zooms in. Took me a while to figure that one out. We've got buttons for navigation, docking. I sort of forget what that one is. Oops. Let's try and get the sun out of our eyes. Hold down shift to stop rotation. So, yes, we've got navigation, docking, headlights, and the scanner. We've also got a button to turn on our engines, which we barely ever use, and the FTL drive. So, first thing we want to do is go into navigation and take a look. So let's see, that would be us. This would be one of the moons. So we're around this planet, and it's got a moon called Burner, Broken Marble, and I think there's a third one. I don't remember what it's called. Everest Station. Cool. We've also got these kind of unidentified bits around. We should be able to scan, which takes a little energy, and it should highlight or show us any objects in orbit here that we don't know about. Yeah, see all these question marks? So we can go check out some of these and maybe use some of them. Also out here we've got all of these asteroids we can go out and mine at. One of the first things I like to do is to go out to one of the moons. So let's see if we can't add an orbit to this moon. And we'll adjust, maybe. That looks about good. 5,000 generally circularized. So we say warp 2, and now you can see we select one of those cells that we've used, or that we put in there. So this is why I want it. You can select more than one cell and it'll go essentially faster, but the moon is so close here that we can get a lot done on this one little cell here. So now we have to tell it when we want to activate the FTL and when we want to arrive. So you can see it says acceleration too low. That's because it needs to be closer. So we'll leave in like, I don't know, a minute and a half or so. Aha, FTL drive. I always do this. Does help if you're going to use the FTL drive to actually turn it on. Oops. Right. I knew that. I'm a professional. Is this where we were going? I thought we were going to the other planet. Oh well. We'll go to Burner. Why not? Get that out to about 5K. We'll get this out to about 5K. Don't ask me why. It seems like a nice round number. We'll use the first warp cell. We'll leave in, yeah, about there. So just adjusting these numbers so that we remain in warp for as short as possible. And also so that we don't crash into a planet, because that'd be fun. There we go. FTL drive ready. We're to activate it in 1 minute and 15 seconds, and we'll arrive in just under 3 minutes. So we hit initialize. It says to please align. So we will point our ship at this little red dot over here. There's our counter at the top, 59 seconds. Lights up green. Hold shift to slow it down. Now we wait to push the button. Five, 4, 3, gate activate. All right. Let's go back to the nav panel. And we'll scan. Doot. Fantastic. All right, lots of stuff. So, we can take a look here. See whether there's anything we might want to go check out. I used to know what all these tags meant. I don't quite remember anymore. Let's try this one. So if we left click to select it, and then we say warp 2, should be able to get a warp connection to this. Initialize, escape, F. Line up there. So now we'll jump to a closer proximity to that. Well, whatever that was. We'll find out. I believe you can actually go into the nav menu and you can watch the orbit change. There we go. So there's our ship. There's where we're going. And there's our projected orbit and it changing. Now if I did the jump close enough, that is to say I left soon enough and it didn't take terribly long, that should equate to these things being closer, theoretically. Yeah, there we go, and we can see on our contacts in the lower right there, we've got LSM at 1 kilometer and a couple of derelicts. So let's turn to face them. They're the little white dots on the edge there. Coming around. There we go. Oops. A little too far. Okay. Oh, we'll maneuver in with maneuvering jets. We do use nitro for maneuvering at this point. This is where you learn nothing happens quickly in space. The faster you try and do this, the more fuel you use, and the more you end up having to compensate for it. Cool. So, try and slow down here. Maybe. If I can get within a small enough tolerance. There we go. I think it's M to match velocity? Yeah. There we go. Okay. So, what did we get? That looks like a life support module to me. What we should be able to do is, if we go to dock, we've got a grapple on the front of this ship. If we target that life support module, this is a great first grab for a station too. A life support module will be much more efficient in using your resources to provide air and pressurization for your station, especially as it grows larger. We'll slow down our rate of closure here, so I don't want to crash into it. And that normally is it. Let's try that again. Yeah, she's moving on me. Let's try. Whoop. Not that much. Not that much. There. Aha. Not the best grapple I've ever done, but it works. We are attached. So now what I like to do is to match velocity with anything else around here. So now that we are grappled, let's go outside and I'll take a look at what that looks like. There we are. So there is actually the back end of our ship that's grappled right onto the connection point. So what that means is we can hop back in our ship here and then warp back home and attach it to our station. Cool. So we'll just, FTL drive is on, hop into the nav panel. We should be able to select home station from the top and hit warp 2. Select our fuel cell. And we'll see how low we can get this. A little more there. That looks good. So now we can turn the ship to the marker. And in 20 seconds, we'll be off. So Hellion's a lot of fun. I am quickly running out of time here for today's episode. I want to thank all of you for joining me. I'll be spotlighting various games on Sundays, but I've been having an absolute blast with Hellion this week. I look forward to see what Zero Games does in the future. I know they've got a lot of interesting plans with it, but for only a 0.22 release, it's been a whole lot of fun. At any rate, hope each and every one of you has a fantastic day and enjoys the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you on Monday. Have a good one.